My name is Emma. I am 25 years old. This is the story of how love and dreams can break and how I found strength to start again. I met him on a rainy day. I was standing outside a small coffee shop waiting for the rain to stop. He didn't have an umbrella and he was completely soaked. I offered to share mine. He smiled, and that's how it all began. His name was Tony. He didn't have much, no car, no big job, not even a good phone. But he had something that caught my heart, a big dream and a kind smile. He told me he wanted to be successful one day. He wanted to build something that would make his mother proud. I believed him. I saw the fire in his eyes. We started talking more. He would call me in the evenings just to hear my voice. Sometimes we met in the park because he couldn't afford restaurants. I didn't care. I brought snacks from home, and we sat on a bench talking about our future. He said, "One day I'll make it. I promise, and you'll be by my side." I held his hand and said, "I'll be here, always." Back then, we were happy with very little. I supported him when he was down. I helped him update his CV, gave him money for interviews, and even paid his phone bills sometimes. He always said, "Thank you, I'll never forget this." And I believed him. I thought love was enough. I thought we were a team. I thought we would rise together. But I had no idea what the future was really hiding. Tony tried so hard. He woke up early every day looking for jobs. He walked from place to place wearing the same black shirt and faded shoes. Sometimes he came home tired with nothing. I could see the pain in his eyes, but he always smiled and said, "Tomorrow will be better." I believed him every time. There were days he didn't eat until night. I would cook and bring food to him. We sat on the floor of his small room, sharing a box of pizza. We laughed, we talked, we dreamed. Even in the struggle, we had love. I remember one day clearly. He came home sad. He didn't get the job he wanted so badly. He sat on the bed and put his head in his hands. I sat beside him and rubbed his back. I said, "Don't give up. You're smart. You'll get something better." He looked at me and said, "You believe in me more than I believe in myself." I smiled. I told him, "Because I know you, you're going to make it." I sold my gold earrings to help him pay for a training course. I borrowed money to fix his broken laptop. I stood by him when even his friends gave up on him. People laughed at me. They said, "You're wasting your time. He's using you. When he makes it, he'll leave you." But I didn't listen. I trusted him. Because I loved him with all my heart, and I thought he loved me too. Our love was simple but real. We didn't have fancy dates or expensive gifts, but we had each other. That was enough for me. Tony made me feel seen. When I talked, he listened. When I cried, he held me. Even with his own struggles, he always found time for me. He would send me sweet voice notes at night saying, "Sleep well, my love. One day I'll give you the life you deserve." He made big promises, but somehow they felt true. I remember when I got sick for a few days, he came to my house every evening with fruits and soup, even when he had little money. He walked long distances just to see me smile. He was my best friend, my safe place, my dream. Sometimes we sat on the rooftop of his building. looking at the stars. He would say, "One day we'll look back at all this and laugh. We'll be in our own house with a car, maybe a baby or two." I would laugh and say, "Just don't forget me when you become rich." He always answered, "Never. You're the reason I keep going." We planned our future together. We talked about moving to a better city, starting a small business, building a family. I saved part of my salary every month so we could grow something together. We didn't have much, but what we had felt strong. So I kept loving him. I kept hoping. I kept waiting for the day things would finally get better. Life wasn't easy, but we faced it together. Tony was always trying to find a job, but nothing seemed to work out. Some days he would come back home tired and frustrated. I could see the pain in his eyes when he said, "Another rejection." Still, he never gave up, and I never left his side. I helped him search for job openings online. I edited his CV over and over again. I even paid for his internet so he could apply to more places. When his shoes wore out, I bought him a new pair with the little money I had left. Sometimes we ate just once a day, but we made it feel special. We would sit on the floor, laugh, and dream of better days. He always said, "One day we'll have more than enough." One night he told me, "I feel like a failure. You deserve better." I held his hand and said, "You're not a failure, you're a fighter, and I'm not going anywhere." I gave him everything I could, time, love, support, even money I didn't really have. I never saw it as a sacrifice. I did it because I loved him and I believed in him. People around me said I was foolish. "Why are you suffering with a man who has nothing?" they asked. "Wait till he makes it, he'll forget you." But I didn't believe them. I thought love was about standing by each other in hard times. I thought our bond was strong. I thought we were building something real. And maybe we were, but I was about to learn that love doesn't always protect you from pain. Then one day, everything changed. Tony got a call from a company he'd been dreaming about working for. They wanted to set up an interview. We were both so excited. The night before, I prayed with him and even pressed his shirt. I gave him some cash for a ride and told him, "Go out there and kill it. This is your moment." And it really was a few days later, he got the job. It was a big one, good pay, a nice office, and even better opportunities. He called me, screaming with joy. I cried too. Not because of the job, but because I knew how far we had come. We had fought together. We had waited for this moment. He said, "Babe, we made it." And I believed him. He started taking me out to nicer places. He bought me gifts. He even gave me some money to say thank you. For a short while, everything felt perfect. I thought we were finally stepping into the life we always talked about. But slowly, things began to change. He got busier. He came home late. He stopped answering my calls the way he used to. He started talking more about money, connections, and business. Less about us. I told myself it was just a phase. I said, "He's just adjusting. Things will go back to normal." But deep down, I was afraid because I knew this man before the money. And now he was starting to look like someone else. It started with small things. Tony stopped calling me in the morning like he used to. Before, he would call just to say good morning, my love. Now I woke up to silence. When I called him, sometimes he didn't pick up. Sometimes he would text back hours later with a short message. I'm in a meeting, can't talk now, I'm busy. At first, I tried to understand. I told myself he has a big job now, he's just stressed, he still loves me. But the silence grew louder. He started spending more time with new people, people who had money, cars, and expensive tastes. I didn't fit into that world. I felt it every time he spoke about them with excitement in his voice, but spoke to me with distance in his tone. He stopped asking how my day was. He didn't notice the little things anymore, like when I changed my nail color or wore that dress he used to love. When I joked around, he barely cracked a smile, and any time I brought up our future, he changed the subject real fast. One evening, I made his favorite meal and surprised him at his apartment. He didn't look happy to see me. He said, "You should have called first. I have work." That night, I sat in the kitchen while he stayed in the bedroom, on the phone, laughing with someone else. I stared at the food I had made, untouched. It hit me. The man I loved, the man I suffered with, was slowly slipping away, and I didn't know how to hold on to him. I cried myself to sleep beside him that night. He didn't even notice. In the morning I asked, "Tony, are we okay?" He looked at me and said, "You're being too emotional. You should be happy for me instead of always complaining." I wasn't complaining, I was hurting. All I ever wanted was to be loved the same way I had loved him, to be carried along, not left behind. But love was no longer something we shared, it had become something I was holding on to, alone. I should have trusted my instincts. For weeks, something didn't feel right. Tony had become colder, like I was no longer part of his world. One night, while he was in the shower, his phone rang. I glanced at the screen. A woman's name popped up, with a heart emoji beside it. My heart dropped. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe I was just overthinking. But curiosity and pain pushed me. I opened his phone. The messages I saw broke me. "Last night was amazing. When are you coming over again? You should leave that broke girl and come to someone who matches your level." My hands started shaking. It felt like the room was spinning, like everything I had believed in was falling apart in front of me. When he came out of the bathroom, I couldn't even speak. I just showed him the screen. I expected him to explain, to say it was a mistake, to at least feel sorry, but he didn't. He just sighed and said, "You shouldn't have gone through my phone." That was it. No apology, no regret. Just a calm, cold face, like I was the one who had done something wrong. I asked him, "Is it true? Are you seeing her?" He didn't answer at first. Then he said, "She understands my world now. You wouldn't get it." I felt like I couldn't breathe. Everything we built, all the pain, all the waiting, all the love, just thrown away. Not because I changed, but because he did. Because now he had money, and money gave him options, and somehow I was no longer one of them. That night, I left his house. I walked in the rain, no umbrella, no taxi, just tears, broken heart and broken promises. And with each step, I kept asking myself, how did we go from dreaming together to this? The days after that night were the hardest I ever faced. I felt lost and broken. My heart was full of questions, but no answers. I kept replaying everything in my mind, the promises, the dreams, the love I gave so freely. Friends tried to help. They said, "You deserve better." But I wasn't ready to hear it. I just wanted my Tony back, the man I loved before money changed him. I cried a lot. I cried for the love that was, for the future that never came, and for myself, the girl who thought love could conquer everything. Slowly, I started to pick up the pieces. I stopped calling him. I stopped waiting by the phone. I started focusing on me. I found strength in small things. I went for walks in the morning sun. I wrote in my journal. I talked to old friends. I even started saving money for myself, just in case. Each day was a little easier than the last. I learned that loving yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. I learned that sometimes people change, and it's not your fault. Most of all, I learned that my worth does not depend on someone else's love or money. The road ahead was still uncertain. I didn't know what the future held. But for the first time in a long time, I felt hope, because I was ready to love myself again. And with each passing day, I remind myself that I am worthy of the love I'm ready to give. Thank you for listening to my story. Sometimes, love doesn't go the way we hope. Sometimes, people we trust choose other paths, and it hurts deeply. But through the pain, there is a lesson. Your value is never tied to someone else's choices or their success. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, no matter what. If you are going through heartbreak, remember to be gentle with yourself. Healing takes time, but every step forward is a victory. Keep believing in love, especially the love you give yourself. That love will guide you through the darkest times and bring you to brighter days. You are stronger than you know. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends and family. Your support means a lot to us. Also, subscribe for more inspiring and emotional stories. Take care of yourself. See you in the next story.